Hi, it's Thad with Willow Way Nurseries. We're here today to talk a little bit about some of our forest crops that we're getting ready for Mother's Day. Behind me, we have a whole bay full of roses here. The nice thing is, these are going to hit real nice. We got some buds just starting to show, a little bit of color, lots of blooms in these, looking really nice. So these are kind of a work in progress. We start them early on so that we're ready for to have that full show. Obviously, roses wouldn't be ready by Mother's Day to have full blooms. So, but we have a variety of stages. We have roses in right now to more of a natural season where they're coming on and just starting to get growth to all the way up to this spectrum of full and bloom. So we have a wide variety to meet whatever needs and roses you have. And we have plenty of good selections of knockouts, the drift series, all kinds of different roses. So there's a lot available in our inventory. A couple things to watch for though. We're starting to see at 223 degree days here. We are April 22nd. It's really important that we're starting to look for some things that are coming on. Leaf miners are getting started around this 220 in the alder, and also we're starting to see honey locust, spider mite, and plant bug getting started at like 230 degree days. So it's important to start watching some of our crops out there for some of these pests that are emerging. Leaf miner, you got to get early. If you don't, the damage will be there and it'll be done before you can do anything, and you're kind of stuck with it. So this is a real critical time on pests like that come in at a certain window. And if you miss that window, you're kind of stuck with the problem. The other thing I want to talk about a little bit as far as things to watch for. This is the time of year that we start to see a lot of problems with downy mildew and also with powdery mildew. And if you look behind me on the roses, and any of the roses you see, they're wet. That's because we specifically water roses only in the mornings. And that's for help with disease control. That way the day when it gets sunny out dries the foliage off. We don't have the water, the moisture on the foliage to create the fungal problems. We do preventative fungicide sprays here at Willow Way, but we also use IPM practices to make sure we minimize any issues with downy or powdery mildew. So a good practice when you receive plants from us, if they're a plant like a rose, winter creeper, the euonymus, there's certain plants that you want to only water in the mornings, no evening or late day watering for those plants unless you're going to hand water and keep the foliage dry. A couple other notes, we're still in time when we need to worry about frost protection. This morning we started watering plants at 5 this morning, certain varieties like Japanese maples, to get the frost that came, get that off and let the moisture knock it off. So it's a form of frost protection. It only works at certain degrees, between this 40 degrees and about 32, 33. You want to kind of hit the water at that time. So it constitutes putting about 5 minutes worth of water onto it, up to 10 minutes, and then kind of cycling through all the areas that have that. You may have to go back and repeat it if it's a little bit on the colder side. We had to do it this morning to protect all the plants so that the growth comes out. And it works on the principle of the changing from one state to another. We took the ice and turned it into water. There's a certain amount of energy or heat that's given off at that point, and then to kind of change that water back into more of a evaporated, it actually goes another little bit of heat, and that heat's enough to protect the foliage. So just a little trick if you can't protect everything by putting it inside. We moved over to one of our astilbe houses. As you can see, we got lots of astilbe. This is peach blossom. You can see really nice, big, huge plant. I got blooms just starting to come on it. So great stage. One of these plants that you can put on your shelf, move right out the door. Yeah, it's always like to look at. We're sending you a full, complete plant, good roots, fertilized. This thing's set for the rest of the season. Should blow out of your door and be happy in somebody's yard. We got Delph lace here and a couple other varieties. We got lots of varieties. Chocolate shogun is one that's kind of interesting. You want a little bit of kind of more of that darker color, a little bit larger one. Really displays its blooms nicely. So good choices on astilbes. We've got good supply on them. Hi, came to another one of our spots in our perennial. This is Veronica, Georgia Blue. You know, what we're always known for, and since I've been here, is just the size and quality of our plants. As you can see, I mean, we're can full, really nice plants, heavy roots. These things really want to go, they want to get to a place and they're going to go, your customers are going to be satisfied with how well they do. We're not selling something we just canned up 2 weeks ago and it's barely rooted. These things are full, ready to go. So, you know, that's what I want to show in some of the things I'm talking about in the videos we're doing, is just that the effort and time that we put into making sure you're getting a quality plant is really important to us, and that you have success with it. We moved over a couple houses. I want to show the Tradescanthia, Amethyst Kiss, and Concord Purple Grape, and basically you see a lot of buds. This thing's just loaded with buds that are just starting to come here. Again, these are underneath plastic, so we have some protection on them, but really kind of coming along. Going to have great season-long color here. Look good. Plant that would just do well in any yard. So just wanted to show a couple varieties and the color and the stage that they're in. All right, we moved over to a different growing range. In here we got Delphiniums. This one in particular is Guardian Mix. You can see we got buds on it, really starting to go. This one's going to blow up here in just the next about a week or so. Really going to start showing a lot of color. If you look, you can start to see we've got some colors starting to show, some whites and other. Behind me, we've got some more. We've got a nice crop coming for the next couple weeks here. These are going to be really hot, looking great. So Delphinium is kind of one of our early season force crops, so we kind of take a lot of pride in making them look great. So you guys have a lot of color to put on the shelves.